What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So let's talk about this Chris Brown situation. All right. So Chris Brown has a new song out, and I believe either he's featured on it or either other folks are featured on it. Whatever. No free promo from me. All right. But he has a song out that he's a part of. And somewhere in the lyrics, he said like something to the effect of he wants a woman with nice hair, right? And folks wasn't really feeling the comment. All right, especially Tokyo Vanity, the rapper Tokyo Vanity. All right, and Tokyo Vanity, like she came through and really just put Chris Brown all the way on blast because she's pretty much just said that Chris Brown, in his like when he's in the club and his VIP sections and all that, he doesn't allow dark-skinned black women into the VIP areas, his VIP area. And I'm like, well, damn. Well, that is just like stupid and fucked up and offensive, you know? And then another girl came through and co-signed Tokyo Vanity's comment. And also Tokyo Vanity also, went in on Chris Brown, I guess, allegedly being a drug user of some sort, like maybe methadone crackhead or coked up junkie. A lot of drugs were being thrown out there. I'm not really familiar with all those different types of drugs. For me, drug free is the way to be. But yeah, so Tokyo came through, and oddly enough, I feel like you know, sadly, I think Tokyo Vanity and the other girl are telling the truth. Also, the other girl said that they tried to kick her out, and she was like hired to work the event, and then she was dark skinned, and she was hired to work the event, and they were trying to kick her out of the area too. And I think the owner of the club had to come in and intervene in that situation. So it's like, damn, what the fuck? Like, can the woman just, exist while being dark skinned and just be left alone and just, let her live? God damn. Like, I don't know. Y'all acting like, goddamn, y'all are allergic. Y'all have some sort of a deadly allergic anaphylactic reaction to damn dark skinned women. And if you do, just make sure that they don't, purchase your stuff since you're so allergic, right? But, they know not to do that, because they don't want to mess with their money, right? So, Tokyo Vanity pretty much said that Chris Brown does coke and other illicit drugs, right? So, for me, I'm I feel like Tokyo Vanity and the other woman that came through are telling the truth. At least about the VIP area. I don't know about Chris Brown doing drugs or whatever. Another story for another day. All right. So, it's very disappointing that Chris Brown would participate in something like that. It's one thing to have a preference, right? But it's another thing to really start, pushing your preference and discriminating against people. And I know folks are going to come through, oh, it's just a VIP area. Who cares, right? But it does speak to a larger issue. And it's like, well, you can let them in. You don't have to really, go back to the hotel with them if you don't want to. I mean, you can just let them in. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're fans one way or another, right? And I'm pretty sure they probably support you one way or another anyway, right? So, yeah, it's like, well, damn, Chris. Like, I feel like Chris Brown, he just, I don't know, if one, it's kind of like digging himself into like a deeper and deeper hole, especially when people are trying to get him out of the hole. He just is determined to keep digging himself deeper and deeper into a hole that he's going to just dig himself so deep in that he just can't get out. And that's why I feel like Chris Brown has been very much in a privileged position and have been and has had opportunities and just overall just not being very grateful and appreciative of the opportunities he has been allotted just in life. So for me, hearing all this again, it's disappointing to hear this, that again he would participate in perpetuating colorism, right? Like why participate in that? And again, folks can have their preferences, and I'm going to be getting into that whole preference shit later in this video. But yeah, again, Chris Brown is entitled to his preference. Nevertheless, I think he can still allow dark-skinned black women into his VIP areas. But, if that's the way he feels, then ultimately you shouldn't want to even be in his VIP area anyway. If that's how he feels, then then just at this point you just need to be singing the damn "Nigga Get Gone" song, right? It's like dun dun nigga get gone, dun dun I'm on my own, dun dun nigga get gone. Don't call my phone, dun dun nigga get gone, dun dun. Fuck your home, dun dun. Dun dun nigga get gone, nigga get gone, nigga. See, you need to be singing that song, right? And I feel like black women are singing that "Nigga Get Gone" song now. But the thing is, like, the crazy part of this is what prompted the "Nigga Get Gone" song toward Chris Brown. And let's get into that, all right? So this whole Chris Brown wanting a black woman, or was it a black woman or just a woman? A black woman with nice hair or a woman with nice hair. Folks interpreted that comment as mean he wants a black woman with good hair, quote unquote. All right, quote unquote. All right, quote unquote, good hair. Because I know some sensitive person's going to come through and want to get in their feelings about quote unquote. Like, if we can't even say what the fuck it is, then how are we going to have the conversation? Let's not even have the conversation at this point. All right. That being said, does the phrase good hair trigger you? I'm guessing it does. But yeah, again, does the phrase good hair trigger you when you hear that and you're hearing somebody, especially like a black person, male or female, saying good hair? And how does that make you feel when you hear the phrase good hair? And I guess sometimes it can trigger some people because they've gone through situations where they were ridiculed for their hair texture, and that may trigger like bad memories. Like, for me, I've told my, hair story before and my hair journey and all that, and how when I was younger, I did get ridiculed for my Afro textured hair as well. So on one hand, I can understand where some folks are coming from. I don't want to be completely, insensitive to people's, issues or insecurities, whatever you want to call it. But nevertheless, I think these are just some things we need to put out there and kind of have some discussions about here. Does the phrase nappy hair trigger you in any way? Like if you heard someone say, oh, damn, your hair nappy, or something like that. Would that trigger you, right? And again, these questions are especially targeted, towards black women with, 4C hair, right? And also Chris Brown got 4C hair when he ain't rocking a perm. I'm pretty sure Chris Brown has 4C hair. He ain't got no, Hawaiian silky smooth, like Brazilian wavy shit going on. He got some damn 4C hair texture too. And I think Kiki Palmer came through on like social media, one of them things like FaceTube, Twitter book, whatever the fuck. And she's like said something like, "Oh, these black men are rocking their natural 4C hair, without a care." While, she and other black women are like a little afraid to do that, right? Hmm. Why is that? And I do feel like, some black people, some black women included, kind of do associate 4C hair with being like somewhat masculine. As quiet as it's kept, a lot of women do sort of low key co-sign some that type of thought and that type of you know, dichotomy or whatever you want to call it. Um, so yeah, I find that interesting. And Chris Brown, I feel like Chris Brown is one of those light skinned dudes who kind of want to like low key, quote unquote, perfect their light skinnedness. And I did a video about this actually a while ago. But yeah, I feel like there are some light skinned dudes out there who do want to like low key perfect, quote unquote, their light skinnedness in farms. Like, say if they perhaps, don't have, the hair texture that, people associate with lighter skinned people, like the looser hair texture, right? Instead, they have like the 4C hair texture, right? I feel like that plays a role in them wanting to perfect their light skinnedness and kind of help them go into, fulfill that stereotype, right? Or, perhaps if they didn't have like a certain eye color, like, oh, light skin with green eyes, that sort of a thing, right? Like I said, I have mentioned on here like before a couple of times here and there that I kind of feel like perhaps I should have had a lot, green eyes, should have been born with green eyes. But it's not anything, thankfully, that I internalize and like going over to like Africa and like getting eye color surgery or something. um, but yeah, I think that is sort of a thing that sometimes is at play when it comes to light skinned men and their preferences with, having preferences for exotic, quote unquote, light skinned mixed biracial women, right? With the features that they kind of feel like maybe they should have, oddly enough, right? But yeah, next, Chris Brown's mom came through on social media and low-key defended Chris by playing down everything and called him my king. Hey, even his mama, he got even his mama singing the Black King song. Like, that's my Black King. He can do anything, but he gonna still be my Black King. Don't matter what he do, don't matter what he say, I'm still gonna be here anyway. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause that's my Black King. Yeah. Can I get a witness? Like apparently Black King trophies are just being, distributed like chiclets. Just here you go, chiclets. Here you go. Yeah, you can get a Black King trophy for doing anything. Like, oh, he took out the trash. Black King. Uh-oh. Oh, he paid the water bill. Black King. Uh-oh. He took me out to dinner and paid for it. Black King. But y'all know that shit true though. And but next, let's get into some other stuff about preferences. All right, I'm gonna start with some hair texture preferences. All right, because I know this is what really triggered all this, right? All right, so our preferences in general. Let's say general first. So our preferences in general, good or nah? Let's just get that out the way. Good or nah? right? Next, are hair texture preferences good or not? Should we have hair texture preferences, right? I mean, I'm going to flip it on black women. Black women do have their preferences for hair texture when it comes to men and hairstyles and this, that, and the third, right? Some black women, want a dreadhead man, right? Some, a black dude rocking some dreads, right? Some black women may want they dudes rocking waves. Some black women, may like the dark Caesar look on dudes. Other black women may not want hair on the man's head at all. Like want them straight up bald, right? Shiny bald head, you know. And also we can get into facial hair. Some women want the facial hair. Some women don't want the facial hair. So, some women want the body hair. Some women don't want the body hair, right? So let's not act like black women don't have any damn preferences and are just so open and accepting to any and everything that a black man can be. You know what I mean? Come on, let's be real. All right. You know, again, women in general and black women included, have like a million and one preferences when it comes to men. All right. So again, are preferences okay or not? Right. And again, these preferences come up when it comes to kids too. These same women got preferences for how they want their kids to look. Right. Talking about, they want a chocolate baby. Right. And it's like, well, okay, again, our preference is good or not, because if someone's talking about, oh, they want a, quote unquote, light skinned baby with good hair, then folks want to be offended by that shit. But if you're talking about you want a chocolate baby with 4C type hair, I don't really see people coming at these women for their preferences. You feel me? So again, it's like, folks, I don't know, when it comes to black women, sometimes it's like, hmm, black women, sometimes I feel like okay, I'm going to preference this with some black women, not all black women, but some black women. I feel like black women don't want to really put in the work to be the best versions of themselves. They sometimes want to rest on mediocrity and still feel entitled to receiving top prize, if you get what I mean, right? And this is where this whole, like, competing comes in. Black women love to be like, oh, I don't compete. I don't compete for men. And well, you compete for everything else. And whether you're dating inside the community, outside the community, whatever the fuck, it is sort of like a low key competition, right? And I know some black women like to sidestep having to actually, quote unquote, tighten up when it comes to, so that they can compete by saying, I don't compete. Well, you still want to be the best version of yourself that you can be, right? Shouldn't you want to be the best version, the best variation of yourself that you can be? And I just feel like black women sometimes just want to rest on mediocrity. Some, not all, but some. There is a segment of black women out there that are like that. That's why, partially, why there is pushback when it comes to, say, expanding options, or when black men are expanding their options, or when even in the community, when it comes to dating in the community, there's pushback when it comes to, black women trying to seek a man with means. Oh, that's being a gold digger, because to seek the man with means, that you kind of have to, quote unquote, tighten up, right? You can't. It's like if they have the means, then they have like a lot of different options. So you have to make sure that you present yourself to appeal. You know, you get what I mean. Like you have to put yourself out there to appeal to the dude with the options, right? And I think some black women just like low key are aware of their quote unquote value or lack of value or market value on the dating market, and they're just like just don't want to really put in the work. So then it comes to, trying to shame other black women for wanting to put in the work and shame other black men for wanting the work. And on average, I do feel like black men are willing to put in more work than the black women on average. And I know some people are going to have something to say about that, want to debate. Leave your comment in the comment section. All right. And also, I do feel like this low key helps to foster an environment of mediocrity and non competitiveness. And this is why, kind of like black men, sort of feel like they can kind of get away with a lot of shit, to be real. Because low key, there's kind of like no competition for them to really worry about. I mean, these women ain't going nowhere. Shit. We all know that shit. They ain't going nowhere. Where are you going? Um, you know? And again, these women proudly proclaim that they're not going anywhere, right? She, you know, oh, if I can't have a black king, I'll just die alone. All alone. If it ain't with a black king, I don't want it. If it ain't a black king, I don't need it. If it ain't the black king, then I just don't want a thing. But next, okay, I want to put this question out here for black women, especially the black women who are complaining and have an issue with the whole Chris Brown situation and nice hair, right? Do you like your hair texture, the hair texture that you naturally have? Do you like it? Do you feel like it's an attractive quality? And I feel like you really need to be honest with yourself about this. And some of these black women out here, like, they're offended and complaining, but they stay wearing weaves and lace front wigs. You know, you know, complaining about, the quote unquote European beauty standard, but at the same time adhering to the European beauty standard. And I know that assimilation does come into play here, and I am aware of that, and I am sensitive to that, and I know that, black women do have to go through certain things, especially in like the corporate world, where it's like you do have to look a certain way. And there are stories out there about black women being like, targeted or fired or marginalized within the workplace because of wearing natural hair, and that's the sort of thing. And I'm aware of that, and I understand that. So I can understand black women feeling the need to assimilate so that they can ultimately survive, make money, and thrive, right? But sometimes I'm like, well, you don't have to wear a blonde lace front wig now. You don't have to do all that, right? And as well, you could probably just grow out your natural hair and just perm it. That's another option too. So I feel like assimilation is an aspect to it, but sometimes I feel like black women sort of hide behind that, like, oh, I'm assimilating, and again, it's a part of it, but it's it's like, okay, you assimilating, but you also trying to adhere to that European beauty standard because black men adhere to it, and you want to be attracted or be seen as attractive to them, right? You know, ultimately, you want to be seen as attractive, so you want to fit into the beauty standard that is considered attractive, right? You want to have the look that is considered attractive, which there's nothing wrong with wanting to be considered attractive, but I think you just have to be upfront and real about this, right? So considering all this, like, these women are mad at Chris Brown. They're mad that he adheres to that same beauty standard that they adhere to. Don't make no sense, you know. And then I think Chris Brown was like trolling black women, talking about lace fronts and shit. And he was gonna buy women lace fronts, and some women came through like, "Oh, Chris Brown buying black women lace fronts? Where mine at?" Right? But yeah, but now I've been hearing like, "Oh, cancel Chris Brown now." Like, really? Now? Out of everything that's happened, this is what you want to cancel Chris Brown about now, right? Why now? Why not when he assaulted Rihanna? Shouldn't that have been enough to cancel Chris Brown? And also, I do want to mention that during that whole situation when he assaulted Rihanna and it was playing out in the media and all that stuff, I feel like the black community in general were more so worried about Chris Brown's, well-being versus Rihanna's well-being. And then even if Rihanna spoke out about anything, it's like, oh, she shouldn't be doing that. She shouldn't be speaking out about that. Or, kind of like low-key shaming Rihanna for speaking out about the situation. Low-key victim shaming and protecting the victimizer, Chris Brown. Am I the only one who noticed that? It's more concerned about Chris Brown's well-being than Rihanna's. What's up with that? Um, but yeah, so why when that wasn't that situation when Chris Brown got canceled? And I know some people did, but I'm just saying some folks obviously didn't because they're talking about cancellations now. All right. Again, also when he was dating Rihanna and Karrueche at the same time, you know, wouldn't that have been a time to cancel Chris Brown too? How about when he cheated on Karrueche and had a kid with another woman? Wouldn't that have been the time to cancel Chris Brown? How about when he harassed and stalked Karrueche after they broke up? Shouldn't that have been something that made you want to cancel Chris Brown? So, I'm like, really? This nice hair comment is what made you cancel Chris Brown. Right? This is what cancels Chris Brown for you. Like, this is what made you cancel him. Like, nah, oh, you can hit me, you can beat on me, that's all right, cheat on me, all right, that's what's up, that's what's up. Oh, you can, harass and stalk me, that's cool, that's all right. Oh, you don't like my hair? Oh, you don't like this 4C hair texture, huh? Nah, nigga, get gone. These niggas ain't shit. Right, really. And I know some, light-skinned women are going to come through and be all like, see, we don't have it easy. Look at this stuff that we got to go through here. Look at what Chris Brown's doing to us. We don't have it easy. Coming through with the light-skinned tears song, right? Let's get ready here for these light-skinned tears, right quick. All right. All right. And here we go. Here we go. Right here. And action. And they say, I'm so lucky, 'cause I'm light-skinned, but I cry, cry, cry. My light-skinned tears thinking, if it's so easy being so light-skinned, then oh, I do. These light-skinned tears come at night. Oh, I do. These light-skinned tears come at night. And cut. Beautiful, beautiful. You really had me going there. All right. But yeah, had to put that out there for these light-skinned chicks that probably gonna come through, you know. But again, light-skinned biracial mixed women are beautiful too in their own little way, right? In their own right, they beautiful too. All right. And they got their light-skinned tear struggles too. All right. But another thing I want to mention before I leave, a couple more things actually. Y'all's divine light-skinned deity, Beyonce, didn't she talk about Becky with the good hair? Where was this dragging folks about good hair and nice hair and shit when Beyonce said it? Again, I swear, like, y'all divine light-skinned deity, Beyonce can just get away with anything sometimes and without getting called out for nothing. right? So yeah, and these women were singing right along with Beyonce, Becky with the good hair, right? And also the Beyonce hair reveal, right? That recently happened where she revealed her natural hair and it's really long, and then all the black women are coming through like, yes, Beyonce, slay, 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 Beyonce, yes, bitch, yes. Long hair don't care. Oh, you the Becky with good hair, Beyonce. Seriously, they're saying that. Now, she revealed her natural hair texture, and it was like really, say, like 4C hair texture type hair. Like, very healthy, well managed, and whatnot. Do you think the reaction would have been the same from black women? Let's be real. So again, on one hand, and these events happened all in the same time, right? So on one hand, you're talking about Beyonce slay with that nice hair, that good hair, Becky with the good hair, right? But on the flip side, you coming at Chris Brown because he wants a black woman with nice hair. Don't make no sense, right? You kind of seem like they want it both ways, right? And again, like Solange has been rocking natural 4C textured hair for a good minute, I believe. Where is her, slay, Solange, yes, bitch, yes. Um, you know, Becky with the nice 4C hair or whatever, where's that at? All right. All right. Um, so next, 4C hair texture on children. I know Blue Ivy's been dragged for her hair texture as well. I think Beyonce may have not. It may have not looked good just because maybe it wasn't being kept up well. I don't know, but yeah, Blue Ivy, Beyonce's daughter. Oddly enough, she got dragged for her hair texture, right? Also, Tia Mowry's son. Yeah, Tia Mowry. Like her son, I believe, was harassed on social media for his hair texture. Right? Yeah, right. Gabby Douglas. Black women came at her for her hair texture, and not wanting to, um, like they like basically. I feel like they expecting her to be doing, cartwheels, flips, and shit with a blonde lace front wig. Like who? Nicki Minaj? What the fuck? I want to do. What if it flips off of her hair? Then y'all gonna be clowning her about that. And one more thing, yeah, Chris Brown has, he has had a couple of like quote unquote beefs with a couple of like dark skinned, brown skinned brothers. Like Tyson Beckford, I think, was one of them, and Kevin McCall. Oddly enough, pretty boy dark skinned dudes. And I feel like some colorism has low key came up in those situations too. You know, just something to put out there, right? So is Chris Brown a colorist? Probably. If I were to place a bet or um, be forced to place a bet, I would probably bet that he was in some capacity. I don't know how deep it runs. I don't know how deep the colorism actually goes. But nevertheless, I do think there is a decent amount of like colorism at play when it comes to Chris Brown in some way, right? So yeah, long story short, yeah, I'm really disappointed that Chris Brown would, not so much for his wanting a black woman with quote unquote nice hair, but I can't co-sign. Yeah, I can't in good faith support, you know, Chris Brown saying that he doesn't want, dark skinned black women in his VIP area, right? I can't support that, right? Chris Brown can have his preferences, but that situation just doesn't like it rubs me the wrong way. I'm like I don't like that. I can't. I can't support that. I can't fool with that. I can't fuck with that. Like, it's just not for me. All right. And, you know, I'm looking at Chris. Well, I've never really bought like a Chris Brown album. You know, at most I probably like listen to his songs on the radio. Or, you know, listen to his songs on YouTube, you know, like maybe watch the video or something. Um, so he never really got any money from me. I think I may have maybe seen him in concert, but I actually think I missed him when he came out. And this was like years ago, back when he was like first came out, right? But I think I may have actually maybe saw him or maybe missed him. I don't know. I don't even remember, so it must have, I don't know. But yeah, a long time ago though. So long story short, let me bring this video to a close. Yeah. So what do you guys think about all this? Let me know in the comment section. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.